What's going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Thriller. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to All Elite Wrestling Reviews. Two shows. The shows from um October 6th, 2020 and October 7th, 2020. I'm be giving you results for AEW Dark from October 6th, 2020 and results for AEW Dynamite from October 7th, 2020. Obviously I'm gonna start with AEW Dark first, and then I'll start with AEW Dynamite. I decided to not move forward. I'm going to be doing two reviews for All Elite Wrestling pertains to AEW Dark and AEW Dynamite. And first of all, I just want to apologize for not doing this now. I was going to do it around 7 o'clock, but I was actually in the middle of something, and I pushed it to 9 o'clock. And obviously it's right now 9:38, and I do apologize for showing up at this time. But I'm here now. I'm great to do all this and everything. So I'm about to get started right now. So here we go. Just give one moment for me to begin. Ladies and gentlemen, let's start off with this All Elite Wrestling review, starting with AEW Dark results from October 6th, 2020. Your commentators were Taz, Excalibur, and once again on commentary from the beginning of the show to the very end, absolute Ricky Starks, because you got to give the people what they want. And what the people want is more of absolute Ricky Starks on commentary with Taz and Excalibur. So, right off the bat, folks, I'm going to just announce the Talking Wrestling were 11 matches on the show here. I'm about to get to all that right now. Starting off first with the opening match was Kenzie Page versus Randy Rose. This is where I started acknowledging that maybe Alex Gracia was there, or maybe she wasn't there. And sure enough, she was there in the front section of with the rest of the AW dark crew there. And I'm like, okay, so she decided to come back after having that burial squash, I meant to say, of before. So before basically beat Alex Garcia last week, in the were for being dominant, and Alex Garcia only got one offense in the match, and the match was garbage. Um, but Alex Garcia was still showing up. Now I didn't see that she was part of Dynamite, but she was part of AEW Dark. When it pertains to this show itself. So yeah, she was back there, but I don't know if she's gonna be want to do more with AEW moving forward, but not gonna talk too much about it. But just wanted to acknowledge that she was there watching on, and there you go. As far as the match was between Brandy Rose and Kenzie Page, it was okay. Brandy Rose was okay. Um, and I gotta say about the match. Yeah. Just waiting for to be over. What I wasn't that impressive with Chance to Brandy Rose. Other than a few moves she did, but other than that, really didn't care for her that much. After the match, Anna Jay, Brandy Rose won the match by the way. After the match, Anna Jay attacks Brandy Rose, and out comes Red Velvet for the save. And Anna Jay leaves, and that was it. Okay, moving on. We got the Jurassic Express, Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus being accompanied by Marco Stuntgrove, taking on Ray Rosa Rosas, meant to say Ray Rosas and Eric Watts, and this match was good. This was a good tag team match. So we get to see Ray um Rosa. Yeah, I think that's he says his last name, Rosa or Rosa. I don't know. But yeah, we haven't seen him again, and yeah, I like him, and I also like this big guy, Rick Watts. They basically pushed him, on this in this match where he, he's someone that that you don't want to be messing with in the ring, and he showcased that too. And this match was good though. It was a good tag team match. Obviously, Jurassic Express won. There you go. Um, oh yeah, there's some promos that happened too, by the way, folks. Hasn't happened yet, but we'll get to it when we get to it. We get to a video package. Which, by the way, folks, maybe just change it up a little bit. And pertains to the avatar, and I'll get back to you. Okay, that's better. Um, this is Chris Jericho, and behind him is um a background of 30, the number 30, which is a nice a hint. I mean, nice little. I'm trying to figure out the word to say here, folks. I apologize. I'm trying to find the right words to say. Just convenient, which is convenient of it too, because it's just Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary being in the pro wrestling business. And why do I bring this up with Chris Jericho during Dark? Well, here's why. It's a video package where Chris Jericho talking about his his 30-year history with Dr. Luther, who's he's been friends with, who's known for 30 years, and also was jealous that he was a bigger star in Japan than Chris Jericho ever was, saying that they went their separate ways afterwards, but they still kept in contact. And Luther was never able to be on the national stardom in the United States until now. Where it takes AEW Dark, and it was because of Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho talks about that it's going to be himself and Jake Hager versus the Chaos Project of Dr. Luther and Serpentico on Dynamite, which we'll get to when we get to it. And it ends up being one of Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary show that play on Dynamite. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So that's just want to bring that up. So yeah, it was good. It was also on YouTube, but they played it on Dark, and I'm like, good. That's good. That's good to do that. Which probably Dark is also on YouTube too, but that's besides the point. But anyways, but yeah, that's basically what it was. So now let's get to my AW Dark avatar now, and get back to the show itself. Will Hobbs versus Ryzen. Obviously, Will Hobbs wins. No, there's not much to say about the match. Will Hobbs is also about his willpower. Eddie Kingston cuts a promo to Sunny Kiss and Joey Janela, excuse me, saying that the reason they aren't ever in the title picture is because they act like clowns and warns them about sleeping on the Lucha Bros and all that. And that was it. And obviously it was a promo from Eddie Kingston, so nothing to say about that. He gets to say a little bit more later on, which we'll get to when we get to it. Which probably ends up being the main event. Again, we'll get to when we get to it. John Silver versus QT Marshall. You have John Silver being accompanied by Evil Uno, while QT Marshall is being accompanied by Dustin Rhodes. And the match itself was pretty good between John Silver and QT Marshall. We had some outside interferences of the Dark Order. Dustin Rhodes as a puppet out, to take them out, but it wasn't enough because at the end of the day, it was I couldn't believe this. John Silver actually got a win over QT Marshall. That's unheard of there with John Silver, because he never win matches, and he beat QT Marshall. That's surprising there. So yeah, it was good. It was a good match too. So Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr. versus Cesar Bononi and David Ali in a tag team match that I thought was pretty decent, with Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison winning the match. That's great. I love it. I'm glad. I'm glad that that Brian Pillman Jr. got a win this time. And good Kirsten too. But more importantly, Brian Pillman Jr. So there you go. And like I said, it was a decent match. Skylar Moore versus Big Swole. Match itself was pretty decent, with Big Swole getting the win with Dirty Dancing. Masada cuts a promo to Michael Nakazawa for putting baby oil on the turnbuckle, where it tends to ruin his debut, where he slipped on it and he almost died and everything. And he's gonna get payback on Michael Nakazawa in this one. So this was the match that was built up to on being the elite of everything that happened from Matt Sydal's botch debut on All Out. So we get Matt Sydal versus Michael Nakazawa in this match. Didn't last long, folks. It was basically it wasn't a nothing match. Matt Sydal wins. He wins with a submission move. It was like a modified Cobra Clutch submission that he did, which was pretty innovative in a way. So yeah, Matt Sydal wins. He got his revenge on Michael Nakazawa, and nothing else to say about it. The grudge match that was a joke match to begin with. Mabado, Mabadu, I meant to say Mabadu versus Eddie Kingston. Obviously, this match didn't last long. Eddie Kingston wins. Nothing to say about that. I just now realized. It was not in the main event that Eddie Kingston cut a promo. It was actually after the match. He cut, obviously after his win. He cuts a promo to John Moxley and saying that he's going to mess up John Moxley. Says that Moxley has, probably tapped out, the same move that he made, Mabadu tap out as well, and says that he will make John Moxley scream, "I quit." Says that Moxley left him behind, after promising to take him to the promised land, and and he he will have to pay for that. Saying that he will that Eddie Kingston says he will never say "I quit" and never tap out, and all he ever wanted to be was the world champion, and basically let John Moxley know that he's gonna be saying "I quit." So he's basically challenging him to an "I quit" match eventually. When is that gonna happen? I don't know, but I guess we have to wait. I guess we're going to find out when that's gonna happen. So because John Moxley is gonna be defending his title next week against Lance Archer. So but we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get to the Dynamite results of it. So Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. Basically, Sonny Kiss cuts a promo. Well, I mean, not Sonny Kiss. Joey Janela cuts a promo while Sonny Kiss just stands there, looks pretty. Saying that they have zero fear and need to win to bounce back into the tag team title rankings below system and all that. And there you go. And we'll get to that main event when we get to it after that promo that Joey Janela cut. Sean Dean versus Angelico, being accompanied by Jack Evans. Angelico and Sean Dean had a decent match, with Angelico winning the match. And there you go. The Lucha Bros squashes Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. I mean, they had some offense in the match, but this basically was a squash. They basically didn't stand a chance against Lucha Bros. So yeah, Lucha Bros wins. Nothing to say about that, folks. Oh man, it was hilarious. And this was the main event too. So you think a main event will feature a more of a competitive competition type of match? But nope, that's not what we got. What we got instead was it's like a complete squash, almost like a 9% complete squash that Lucha Bros got. So it's whatever. So there you go. That was AEW Dynamite. I mean, not Dynamite. we haven't got to that yet. But I'll get to it when we get to it, because yeah. This was your AEW Dark results for this first All Elite Wrestling review. My overall rating for the show, I'm gonna give this show a 7.5 out of 10. It was a good AEW Dark show. And now, if you will excuse me, I'll get back to you, because right now we're gonna move forward to the next results, which is AEW Dynamite. ladies and gentlemen, this will be your AEW Dynamite results. The show from October 7th, 2020. And same thing with the pertains to AEW Dark. They were at Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. Except your commentators were Tony Schiavone, Julio J.R. Jim Ross, Taz, Excalibur, by the way, too, as well, and Ricky Starks. And oh, for Taz and Ricky Starks, it was just for this one match because the one match that opened up the show actually was sorry folks, I didn't click on the link to the notes here. Yeah, so the opening match was Brian Cage defending his FTW World Championship against the Willpower in Will Hobbs. And this match was good. It made Brian Cage look good. It made Will Hobbs look good. Both men look good in this match. This was a good big man match. You know, and I want to see more of this, between Brian Cage and Will Hobbs. Obviously, in the end, Brian Cage is winning the match, and he was with the drill claw. Basically, he got Will Hobbs up in the air and got him with the drill claw. And yeah, so your winner is still the FTW World Champion, the Machine, Brian Cage. After the match, Ricky Starks gets into the ring. He has a steel chair, and they was going to do an absolute beating on Will Hobbs. But Taz stops him and saying that, Ricky Starks, hold up, and basically tells Will Hobbs, you're very impressive. You're a very impressive performer, and saying that he fought his ass off, but it wasn't good enough against Brian Cage. But however, he's going to give him an ultimatum. He's got two choices. Either he joins Team Taz, or he'll get the beating of his life by Ricky Starks and Brian Cage if he doesn't join them. So Rick Hobbs trying to get back up, trying to see. He's basically we didn't get to hear an answer from him because Darby Allin comes out and basically chases out Brian Cage and Ricky Starks with his scary stuff and his skateboard. Taz gets talks to Darby Allin saying, look at me, you little punk and everything. Yeah, you're sticking your nose in my business again. You're gonna regret that and everything and blah blah blah. So there you go. So yeah, that was pretty a good opening match, where it pertains to this show itself for AEW Dynamite. Speaking of which, AEW Dynamite also was on doing the 30-year anniversary show for Chris Jericho. And I'll get back to you in a moment, folks. So then we get to a couple of people, congratulating Chris Jericho of his 30-year anniversary in pro wrestling. You have Slash from Guns N' Roses, Dennis Miller. You had Hiroshi Tanahashi from New Japan Pro Wrestling. You had Bully Ray, who really didn't say anything. He was just drinking a little bit of the bubbly, and that was it. Oh, that was hilarious. There was someone else I was on there. I can't remember who it was, but I probably don't even recognize them. But I'll mention it again later on when we get to it. But right now, give me one moment, and I'll get back to you. All right. Next, we get to Lance Archer. Now he wasn't there, obviously, but we get to Lance Archer, where it pertains to his first meeting with Jon Moxley back in New Japan Pro Wrestling in their Texas Death Match that happened in Wrestle Kingdom, and that was a great match, folks. Brutal, match and all that. Basically, it's a build up between these two for next week's Dynamite show for the 1-year anniversary show for AEW Dynamite, where it pertains to be them on for them being on TNT. and it's gonna be for the AEW World Championship. Despite how Eddie Kingston never lost the Battle Royale, the Casino Battle Royale from All Out, Lance Archer was still considered the winner of that Battle Royale by miscommunication there. Mistake from the referees, but not seeing that Eddie Kingston was never eliminated from the Battle Royale, but Lance Archer still won it. In the record, the record books will say that he won the Casino Battle Royale. So Lance Archer still gets an opportunity for a title shot, and Eddie Kingston, he's also will get another shot at the title too, but who knows when that's going to happen? Obviously, it's going to happen after Lance Archer. But here we go. So, Lance Archer says that Moxley may have beaten him, some of the baddest guys in AEW, but they are nothing compared to him. Well, well, actually, Moxley beat him before in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but I guess in AEW it's a different case. But okay, so yeah, it's gonna happen, folks, and we're gonna see how it's gonna play out between Lance Archer and Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. So there you go. Good. It was good. It was a good video package too, and they showed clips of it of these two in New Japan Pro Wrestling. So that was good though. FTR defends their AEW World Tag Team Championships, being accompanied by Tully Blanchard. They'll go up against the TH2, which is the Hybrid 2, which is also Jack Evans and Henneko, excuse me. And FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood. So this match happened, and it's been pretty good. It was a good tag team match. Now, unfortunately, Jack Evans botched something in the match there. But it happens. It happened. Basically, happened in the corner where he went for a 450, and he looked like he kind of actually he didn't actually miss. He did miss. But man, it was a botch spot there, but it didn't hurt the match though. It was still a good match though. But in the end, obviously FTR still is winning and retaining their AEW World Tag Team Championship. And by the way, the Young Bucks were watching the match as well. And by the way, they finally showed Nick Jackson. And I was thinking to myself, okay, so he doesn't look different. He didn't grow a beard. There's nothing different about him. So I'm trying to figure out for weeks now why he's been a ghost on camera, by not showing up on camera, especially when it takes to being the elite. But I digress. Look like he's all right though. But it was just weird that we never saw him on camera that much. So after the match, Young Bucks are talking and everything. All of a sudden, you see the cameraman, in front of them, and good. They're basically acknowledging there's a camera there, because when WWE does this shit, it's stupid. So when the Young Bucks sees there's a camera there, they decide to do the super kick party to the cameraman, and they're going to pay for the fine. But Matt Jackson had the money with him, and then Nick Jackson was going to pull out the money, but he didn't have the money on him either. And they decided to just walk up. I guess they're going to pay for it later. And while all this going on, FTR was in the ring watching this whole thing going on, and all of a sudden, I don't remember how it happened. Oh yeah, FTR was shown on the Tepatron a Photoshop of them, basically with Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler's head on a hot dog. And I'm going, I'm like, what the hell is this? And all of a sudden, Best Friends comes out, Trent and Chuck Taylor, and they came out with T-shirts. Well, Trent, maybe clarify that. Trent came out with a tank top, a black tank top, and Chuck Taylor came out with a T-shirt, a black T-shirt, and on the T-shirt is the FTR looking like wieners, because they're weenies. Like, oh come on, what the hell is this? This was driving me nuts. And for those who saw on the live reactions on Mr. Ricky J. Thomas YouTube channel, pertains to AEW Dynamite, yeah, know how my reaction was. I was going nuts. And I say to myself, who's gonna buy this? No one's gonna buy this. I'll be shocked and surprised if anyone buys this. Oh, that was ridiculous. But basically, it's a build up between these two tag teams for next week. So yeah, they're gonna go all out with this next week, folks. For this, which I'll get to more of that when we get to the card itself. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be an amazing show next week. I guarantee it. So, and you never know what's gonna happen on that show too. It's a 1 year anniversary show, so there might be some surprises. I'm assuming there'll be some surprises on the show. You know, and I doubt it's gonna be any title changes going on. But we'll get to that when we get to what's happening here too. Um, but anyways, but yeah, there you go. That was it. Oh yeah, FTR tried to attack them by the way, but best friends fought them off, and then also best friends isn't leaving. I mean not best friends. FTR isn't leaving. They basically sorry folks. I'm sorry. I gotta change something here. I just now realized something. Give me one moment. There, that's better. Now it says natural born dynamite. So where was I? Oh yeah. FTR retreated, and best friends had the tag belts, and then the belts were given back to them, and that was it. So yeah, a nice mini build up there of lead up to the anniversary show next week. So I will get to a little bit more of the anniversary shows as well. So we'll get to when we get to it. All right, one moment, folks. There's something coming up right now, and I'll get back to you. All right, MGF sends a video message to Chris Jericho about his 30 years anniversary. Recalls a story of Chris Jericho in AEW, and then after party last year that Chris Jericho told MJF that you really got something. Keep studying and take a little bit for other wrestlers. I mean from other wrestlers in wrestling. And MJF says that he pointed Jericho at tends to Chris who basically gave him a smile after that and everything. So basically MJF is put over Chris Jericho for giving him for believing in MJF for what and giving and Jericho giving credit to MJF for what how great he is. For a young guy like MJF, he's really coming on his own. So there you go. So we have more people talking about basically giving congrats to Chris Jericho. For example, Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, congratulations Chris Jericho. Gene Simmons from Kiss, congratulations Chris Jericho. Don Callis from Impact Wrestling, congratulations Chris Jericho. Now Ivan, can't remember Jericho's father's name. Ivan. Now it's drumming notes here, folks. Give me one moment. Gotta remember what was his father's name. Sorry about that, folks. I'm sorry, Ted Irvine. Sorry about that. Yeah, so Ted Irvine, Chris Jericho's dad was on the show too. Basically, we're saying the videos were playing of everyone congratulating Chris Jericho of his 30-year anniversary. For 30 years in wrestling, and and Chris Jericho's dad, Ted Irvine, was on there too. Diamond Dallas Page even said congratulations to Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho has known DDP since WCW, and then and from there they've been friends ever since. And Jericho does DDP yoga because of Diamond Dallas Page. So yeah, there you go. No much to say about that. Yeah. Again, there are others that sent out their videos to congratulate Chris Jericho of him being in the wrestling business for 30 years. And there you go. And I'll get back to you folks because I'm about to change the avatar. So I'll be right with you. All right. The Exalted One, Mr. Brody Lee, defends his AEW TNT Championship, being accompanied by John Silver, take on the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, with Arn Anderson at ringside for him, and not just any AEW TNT Championship title match, but this will be a dog collar match. And they had Greg the Hammer Valentine in attendance to watch this match because if you guys remember me doing a live reaction that last night, I did a live reaction to Rodney Piper versus Greg Valentine in NWA in a dog collar match for the United States Championship. And there's Greg the Hammer Valentine there, and he still looks good. He still got his hair, and just saying, and he's there to witness this match because when it pertains to this dog collar match, it was a very unique concept. From a while back that Greg Valentine had the honor and privilege to be a part of with the late great Roddy Piper. I only wish that Piper was still here so that he could have been invited to watch this too. But God rest his soul though. Rest in peace to one of the greatest of all time, Roddy Piper. But hey, I got my other favorite here, and that's Greg the Hammer Valentine. Still growing strong here. And he never looked any better. So yeah, he was there watching the match, which is Brody Lee and Cody Rhodes. And the match happens. John Silver is again a beating by Cody Rhodes from the beginning of the match because he was down on the apron. He basically got hit with a chain, and that led to John Silver bleeding in the match. Cody Rhodes didn't bleed first. Mr. Brody Lee didn't bleed first. It was John Silver who was never in the match who bleeded first. We're like, what the hell? So Cody and Brody Lee are battling in the ring, outside the ring, and then a chair was set up for John Silver to sit on by Mr. Brody Lee. All of a sudden, Cody Rhodes, I believe it was Cody Rhodes who went after Mr. Brody Lee, and then Brody Lee got away, and John Silver got hit by Cody Rhodes. I think I can't remember if it, or maybe it was Brody Lee trying to go after Cody Rhodes, and then either way, John Silver is again hurt from it, because he was in a chair, and then he got attacked, and then he ran into the barricade. I think he arm first, I believe. Okay, I remember now. After seeing this clip, yeah, it was Cody Rhodes who tried to go after Brody Lee, but he has John Silver instead, and John Silver got the worst of it. Also, NJ comes out to attend John Silver, and Mr. Brody Lee tells NJ to take John Silver out of here, get him out of here. To recuperate, to be taken care of and everything. While Brody Lee and Cody Rhodes continue to have the match here. Now they had commercials in this match about, I guess, I can't remember, it was there like 2 commercials for this match. I can't remember if there was or not, but during one of those commercials, with picture in picture, they showed the spot where Cody Rhodes put Mr. Brody Lee to a table and made him bleed. Now, obviously, here's the thing: Cody Rhodes bled first before they went to commercial break. In the match, Cody Rhodes bled first in the match. And then Mr. Brody Lee has to bleed, but he has to bleed him during the commercial break on picture in picture. Now, say, wait a minute, why would you do that? Yeah, you couldn't wait to do the table spot on TV and the bleeding spot. Who cares about seeing it on picture in picture? That was stupid. I thought whoever thought that was a good idea to do it that way. Based on what they did later on, this match when it still ends up continuing going on and everything. Like, why would you not have that be on TV? Why would you do that? Why would you waste it on the picture in picture? The two important spots that happened in the match were we put over this dog collar match. You did not show it on TV. You showed it on TV when on the little screen. For your picture in picture commercial bullshit. And you gotta love how the AEW also gotta do this where 'Cause I remember Jim Ross said this. I think it was about 2 weeks ago or a week ago. I can't remember saying that. I know you people love this picture in picture. No, we don't. And AEW knows that too. So why would they do this? That really pissed me off. I mean, I didn't show myself getting pissed off like that when I did the live reaction. You know, with the panel. I don't think I don't think I even showed myself on camera when that happened too. But I may have I may have not have. I don't know. I can't remember. I gotta look back at it. But wow, that was so stupid. But the match continues, and at this point we got Arn Anderson getting involved. Now I can't remember if Evil Uno came out or something else happened. Oh yeah, not remember how Arn Anderson got involved. Um, so Brody Lee got a steel chair in the ring. He tosses it to the stage, almost hitting Arn Anderson. So Arn Anderson took that as you trying to hurt, you trying to take me out. So he goes after him in the ring, but he didn't get to touch him yet. Also, we get the return of Alex Runnels. He runs in and he gets a spine buster. But I love you, Arn Anderson, but it was an okay spine buster, but it's not what it used to be anymore. Because obviously he's older now. He's larger now. He's not a competitor anymore. He's not a wrestler anymore. He's he's a retired wrestler who's a former shell of himself, to say the least. That was a turbo spine buster. An okay turbo spine buster, to say the least. And then Brody Lee takes out Miss Arn Anderson. The match still continues on. And they missed the chain. They did miss the chain for as a weapon. Oh yeah, by the way, at one point, one the chain did come off of Mr. Brody Lee, of his dog collar, but it was attached back by Paul Turner. But yeah, despite everything despite every nitpicks I'll talk about in this one, and a couple of complaints of it too as well, I still thought it was a good match though. And in a way, it did pull half, it did half pull over this match. Despite the picture in picture bullshit it did, and I didn't see this coming. Cody Rhodes wins back the TNT Championship. So you know what this means. People are going to be saying, "Oh, Cody Rhodes, he buried Mr. Brody Lee." Yeah, that's exactly what he did. He's the one with the golden shovel. He's the real mastermind of the golden shovel, folks. Not Triple H, not John Cena. It's always been Cody Rhodes the entire time. Yeah, that's what he does. He buries people. So the Dark Order came out to help out Mr. Brody Lee, and man, and look on their face too. By the way, they couldn't believe that Mr. Brody Lee lost. So you get the time Nightmare Family coming out. Dustin Rose, Brandy Rose, Arn Anderson recovered. Tony Schiavone comes in the ring, and Cody Rhodes cuts a promo. Basically, Tony Schiavone talking to Cody Rhodes about his match and everything. Congratulations, winning back the belt and everything. And then Cody Rhodes says he feels no feeling on earth to perform in front of a live crowd. He's sticking with the fans until the very end, which means he's not turning heel. He's not turning to the dark. He's not going to go into the dark side, folks. He's not going to turn to the dark side. Despite some saying he should go dark after hanging up his look. Says that this is his life's work. He's not pandering. He says next week he wants to defend his TNT Championship belt. Basically he's bringing back the open match again for the to challenge anyone and bury them for the TNT Championship. So all of a sudden, Orange Cassidy comes out. Freshly Squeeze comes out. He comes out, gives him a slight thumbs up, and Cody Rhodes gives him a thumbs up, and then the challenge has been accepted for next week. It's going to be Cody Rhodes defending his TNT Championship against Orange Cassidy. So yeah, they're already loading the show up, folks, for next week's anniversary show on TNT's AEW Dynamite. So there you go. It was, and obviously a good promo for Corey Rhodes. A very passionate promo. We got announcements. Who's gonna be in the tournament? Last week they announced it was gonna be Ray Phoenix, Jungle Boy, and Kenny Omega. This week they announced Warlow, Colt Boom Boom Cabana, really, and the Hangman, Adam Page. Hey, I'm all for that one. Now all we need is two more. Who's gonna be the other two? That's gonna be part of this tournament. I have no idea. Maybe wait and see, or should I say, you're gonna find out. We're gonna find out. You know what I mean? Impact Wrestling started that, by the way, folks. Anyways, but yeah, there you go. Kenny Omega, he gets interviewed by Alex Marvez, excuse me, about the upcoming tournament. He asks about having Adam Page being in the tournament. And he says, why not? This will be the premier tournament in AEW. Says that doesn't be surprised. His hand is raised, and he'll beat whoever may be the champion. Whoever the hell may be the champion. Come Full Gear, and says that Page he basically mentions Page an awful lot of his promo. Clearly, Page is on his mind and everything. So, and that was it. Good promo there from Kenny Omega. And by the way, it has been announced, by the way, in the finals, that will meet at Full Gear. The winner of that match will meet up with Jon Moxley later on that same night on Full Gear. So yeah. So if they're going to do that, then the tournament, the finals of the tournament, has got to be the opening match for Full Gear, and then the main event, obviously best for last, save for last, the AEW World Championship title, and obviously it's going to be Jon Moxley because I don't see anyone else, being AEW World Champion leading to Full Gear. It's going to be Jon Moxley. Big Swole versus Serena Deeb, and this match was pretty good. Obviously, Serena Deeb is good. Big Swole is good as well. And they both worked a good match here. In the end, it was Big Swole getting the win. And that was it. And I guess Big Swole is gonna be moving forward to challenge the AEW Women's World Champion, which by the way, there was no Hikaru Shida on the show here. She was not even announced for next week's show. Which I don't know. I don't understand why. I mean, if she is gonna be part of next week's show, then why not have a Big Swole? Because she's been winning matches now. Why not have Big Swole versus Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's World Championship on next week's show? I wouldn't mind seeing that. Obviously, Big Swole's not going to win, but at least give us something. Give us Hikaru Shida because we haven't seen her for a while. And I know she's doing fine. I haven't heard anything about her having COVID-19. So I'm wondering what happened with her. So please bring her back. Jon Moxley was at a bar while he was playing a video promo of Jon Moxley where he's somewhere. I'm still like in the somewhere outside the desert, wherever maybe. But basically, Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, saying that he hasn't had much to celebrate after winning his last big match. Which was against. Now I'm assuming he's talking about Eddie Kingston because I can't really see him saying that pertains to the Butcher. But whatever. He's been around long enough to know eventually the champion goes down. Moxley says one doesn't beat Archer, one survives him. He barely did the last time they meet in New Japan. Moxley says he knows every time he hands the title to the referee, he may not touch it again. He flips a coin. What happened on the 14th? Maybe Archer wins. Maybe he wins. Moxley says he's not laying down for Archer, though Archer is going to have to take the title off of his dead body. Because it's like you always say, Lance, everybody dies. Now, he didn't say it like that, but, it's one of Lance Archer's things. Everybody dies. So, great promo there from Jon Moxley, as usual, folks. Moxley is one of the greatest promos cutters in professional wrestling. And I can't wait. I can't wait to see next week's show. They announced next week that Miro and Kip Sabian, accompanied by Penelope Ford, will be in action. Hopefully, it'll be a better match than last time. Oh man! All right, folks. Maybe I'll get back to you. I got to change something here because we get more of everyone. Some other people congratulating Chris Jericho of his 30-year anniversary in pro wrestling. For example, another guy who also has been in the business for for 30 years too, Lance Storm. Yes, Chris Jericho's former tag team partner, the Thrill Seekers, Lance Storm. Also, you have Kevin Smith. You have also Eli Eli Rolf. Eli Rolf. I can't remember. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'm Rolf. I think it's Rolf. Like kind of how you say Moth. Rolf. So Eli Rolf. I really don't know who Eli Rolf is, but he looks cool. Look like a cool dude. Gabriel Glacia. I mean Gabriel Ilicias, meant to say, excuse me. The comedian, and he shows Trouble Guerrero Jr. on his, I think, his tablet, whatever. So yeah, Trouble Guerrero Jr. Was also congratulating Chris Jericho too. Steel Panther, the two rock stars were over there as well. On video, obviously, congratulating Chris Jericho. Ultimo Dragon, congratulations Chris Jericho. One of my favorites in back in the days of WCW cruiserweights. And Paul Stanley, congratulations Chris Jericho too. Now I don't know who Paul Stanley was, but whatever. But yeah, there you go. Not much to say about that. But speaking of Chris Jericho, now we get to the main event. The main event features Chris Jericho and Jake Hager being accompanied by Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz of the Inner Circle, versus Chaos Project, which it features Dr. Luther, which by the way, Dr. Luther also been in business for I believe for either 29 or 30 years in the business. And Serpentico, Dr. Luther and Serpentico, Chaos Project. And the match itself was now the main event match. Obviously, this was a main event match, folks. Which, by the way, folks, I I didn't get to talk about this much when I got to the TNT Championship title match because I was saying before the TNT Championship title match shouldn't have been the main event, but because it was Chris Jericho's main, it was because it was about Chris Jericho's night. They decided to have Chris Jericho's match to be the main event. After seeing this match, this was not much of a main event, but I still enjoyed the match for what it was. It was decent, to solid. Not much to say about it. But I do understand why this has to be the main event because Chris Jericho. It's all about Chris Jericho, and based on how they did it too. By the way, well, I'll get to that when we get to it. Um, I completely understand now why this was the main event and how they ended the show. But I also want to say this too. If the TNT title match was not going to happen on this show here between Cody Rhodes and Brody Lee, in the dog collar match, I would not mind if they would have done it next week's show instead. That way that could have been the main event either way. But then again, you also got Jon Moxley and Les Archer, because Jon Moxley is the AEW World Champion. The World Champion always gotta be the main event. So in a way it's a lose-lose situation here, in a way. But it's whatever. But anyways, the match, the match was solid at best, decent. What wasn't much, this was not a main event match to be seen. But it was still fun though. I was actually excited about this match though. It was very intriguing, more intriguing than the Butcher's singles main event match they had with Jon Moxley last week. Just saying. Oh man, I still can't get over that, folks. In the end, it was Chris Jericho winning because why not? It's his anniversary show. So, after the match, Chris Jericho basically says to everyone that that wishes on him congratulations and basically thanks them. Chris Jericho thanks them for 30 years that he's been in the business. And then MJF comes out with Wardlow, and they got someone under the sheet. and they reveal. But first of all, let me first say, where's MGF's promo here? Oh yeah, so MGF says, uh, this isn't about him, so please cut his music, and says he respects Jericho and wants to be a part of his celebration. And then he counts down of who's under the sheet there, which it was gonna be reviewed by Warlow. So he counted down like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all of a sudden he reveals some guy in a clown suit. Well, kind of a clown suit, but he's also wearing the light up jacket of Chris Jericho. Not the one that Chris Jericho wore in WWE, just some kind of knockoff of it. And he had the face paint of Chris Jericho. You know, well, he had a clown face paint, but also had the Paymaker face paint that he had on. But just because Chris Jericho, the Paymaker face paint. Um, and it, and he's called Clowno Le Clown. Or should I say Clownico Le Clown. And probably the crowd's booed by the way. They ain't like it. I guess they hate clowns. Or maybe they're expecting someone. I don't know. I don't know who they're expecting. I don't know. But the clown was holding up a gift, which it was given to Chris Jericho. MJF says, Sammy Guevara, we still owe you a jacket. So, because last week, that whole thing. MJF says, next week he has a career-defining announcement, and he wants Chris Jericho to be there for it. And then Jericho opens up the gift. It's a portrait of MJF. So basically, they copy and paste with The Rock and Farouk back in 1998. Yes, it was that year. Oh, and that was funny too, by the way. When The Rock was giving gifts to the Nation of Domination, and also Farouk gets a gift from who's the leader of Nation of Domination. And he gets a gift. He gets a gift from The Rock, and then Farouk opens up the gift, and there was a picture of The Rock. When he was in the car champion. And this one is MJF, with him wearing a scarf and his wrestling gear. And Jericho takes the portrait and put his Chronicle the clown and gives him the nastiest Judas effect I ever seen. The most nastiest, stiffest Judas effect I ever seen my entire life. And I've seen Jericho do a lot worse that to Darby Allin, and can't remember who else he did too as well. I'm assuming maybe the Hangman represents to last year. Either Fighter Fest or Fight for the Fallen. It was one of those two. Can't remember which one was it that he did too. I'm pretty sure it was Fight for the Fallen. With the whole, what you want the Hangman, something like that. You want the Hangman, something like that. It was sent to that effect. I don't remember. But anyways, and then Jericho gets a microphone and says he hates clowns and don't ever interrupt me again. You understand me? They start looking at each other, with a mean look on their face, and all of a sudden they start laughing and like just kidding and everything and all that, and then Jericho takes the crowd, and then MJF and Jericho starts giving each other high fives. All of a sudden we get the heels coming out, basically emptying out to into the ring, to celebrate with Jericho. Britt Baker, Reba, Vicky Guerrero, Nyla Rose, Team Taz, which is Ricky Starks, Brian Cage, Taz, obviously, Sean Spears, Tully Blanchard. Now there was no FTR there though, which I still find very odd that whenever Tully Blanchard's there, with Sean Spears, FTR's not there, and when Tully Blanchard's there with FTR, Sean Spears not there. So in this case, it's Sean Spears there, but no FTR. But and also you also got Tully Blanchard. Also, you get the Lucha Bros, Butcher and Blade, Eddie Kingston. I can't remember who else was out there too, but and then the credits shows up, and I'm like, wait, credits, and the credits shows executive producers, director, video director or edit producer or something like that, and everything, the cameraman, and production team, whatever, something like that. I remember how it all happened, and it all it all says Chris Jericho. So basically, Chris Jericho was responsible for all of it. That was hilarious. In fact, one more, folks. Maybe I'll do something here. I'll get back. I'll get right back to you. All right, sorry about that, folks. I'm back. Okay, here we go. So, executive producer Chris Jericho, director Chris Jericho, techno, technical director Chris Jericho, tape producer Chris Jericho, associate producer Chris Jericho, network ad Chris Jericho, audio Chris Jericho, ele- elec- electronic graphic Chris Jericho, cameras Chris Jericho, 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 video. Wait, I should remember. What was? Uh, oh man. Oh yeah, video. Chris Jericho, Chris Jericho, Chris Jericho. Oh, lighting director Chris Jericho, music director Chris Jericho, art director Chris Jericho, pyrotechnician Chris Jericho, stage manager Chris Jericho, wardrobe and makeup Chris Jericho, carpenter Chris Jericho, catering Chris Jericho. Everything was Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was responsible for all this. And then by the way, and then he was in the ring, while all this was going on, they're serving with a little bit of the bubble, and that was it. Oh my god, and that's why I completely understand why this had to be the main event, because Jericho, the way that was done, that was pretty amazing. I never see a wrestling show end like that before. It reminds me of Saturday Night Live, because Saturday Night Live does this too. And same thing with Nickelodeon's all that. It was similar to that too. Oh man, I can't remember WWE doing this before. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did with the anniversary shows back in the '90s, but where it pertains to the entertain the shows like Raw, SmackDown in the past, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That was funny though. But there you go, folks. That was AEW Dynamite results from October 7th, 2020, and this was also featuring Chris Jericho's 30th anniversary show, and it was pretty amazing, folks. Pretty amazing. Now, talking about wrestling, I think it was four matches. No, that can't be four matches. I remember a Big Swole and Trinity was in the match too. So five matches. Yeah, it was five matches. That was talking about wrestling for AW Dynamite. My overall strength for the show. This show was pretty amazing, pretty good. Entertained me entertained me to no end. So I'm gonna go with 9 out of 10. Very good show. And congratulations to Chris Jericho. 30 years in the wrestling business and still going strong. Hopefully, he'll endure more of this for the next 10 to 15 to 20 years in the business. So there you go, folks. That was it for all Elite Wrestling reviews pertains to AEW Dark from October 6, 2020, and for AEW Dynamite from October 7th, 2020. Thank you all for watching. If this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly, right here on YouTube, Natural Born Driller, Brian Robert Serrano Jr. If you haven't subscribed to me already, please hit that subscribe button right now. For my supporters, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like. For my haters, if you didn't enjoy this video, give it a dislike. Either way, thank you for all of you for joining, viewing, spending your time day and night with yours truly right here on YouTube, Natural Born Driller, as I give you the absolute best content that I can ever give you. And hopefully you all appreciate that. So, that being said, you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself everything that's going on in the world, wear your mask, God bless one another, love one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. I am out here. Ta-ta for now for this Natural Born Thriller, saying peace on the streets. And if you don't like it, beat it, because no one wants to be defeated. Just say, take care.